I want to share with you how I manifested a new home within 2 weeks. I'm going to share with you the exact simple process I use so that you too can start to manifest in a very short period of time. I'm Tanya Pluckrose from Rich Results Mindsets, and I'm all about helping you master your mind so you can master your life. Okay, let me get going with this video today. So you may or may not know whether you're a regular to my channel or not, but I'm in the process right now of moving back to Australia. I've been here in Vegas for the last 4 years, and before that I was in Los Angeles. I've been in the States for 10 years, and last year I made a decision to move back to Australia. It's part of my vision. It's part of my big, audacious goal. And so I've been in the process since the beginning of this year to move back, to relocate by July. And so part of the process has been moving my 2 cats, Sydney and Seraphina, they're Siamese, moving them back, but they have to go back rabies free. So right now they are going through a quarantine process in order to relocate. In fact, it's harder for them to move, to immigrate to Australia than it is for me. And I'm an Australian citizen. So anyway, that's for another video. So I have to leave my current establishment right now by May the 19th. And I have to seek alternate accommodation, a new home for the 3 of us for around 6 weeks. And so I started to look online with regards to Airbnb, but before I did that, I have written down, as part of my spending plan, I have written down the amount of money I wanted to spend on this type of accommodation. So I went online with Airbnb and nothing was really showing up. I would contact various people that were leasing their homes, but they wouldn't take the cats. And so I was like, hang on, I can use my mind to manifest anything. I don't need to go online. Why don't I become a product of my own product? So what I did, and here is the simple technique. For the last 2 weeks, what I've been doing is writing it down. And you know, the more I wrote it down, the more I started to believe it. And then it manifested. And so I would, morning and night, use just a journal, a normal journal, and I would write saying thank you. Saying thank you that it has already been achieved, that I have accomplished it. And so I would write to the universal manager, the higher power. I like to call this universal manager God, but you may want to call this universal manager spirit, source, infinite intelligence. I started to write saying thank you. Thank you for this beautiful home. This home that comes to me easily and effortlessly at this price point. I was very specific with the price point and the sort of location I wanted, and that it was a very safe neighborhood. And I would write up the specifics as I'm writing this thank you note to the universe. And I would do it morning and night. And the more I started to write it, the more I started to believe it, that it was going to happen. And then I realized, oh, that's right. Bob Proctor, my mentor, the late legend Mr. Bob Proctor, he was all about repetition and auto-suggestion. And he was all about the more you repeat something, the more you believe it. And the more you believe it, you manifest it. But I also have to add that I was writing thank you from a place of real gratitude. So I put emotion into the thank you, because emotion is the language of the subconscious mind. It's the feeling center So I was writing it with intense gratitude. Thank you for this home. Thank you. And so the next thing I did was, after I would write it out morning and night with absolute gratitude, the certainty and conviction started to build. And then I would ask, and where? That would be the only question, and where? I put that out to the universe, and where? And leave it like that. Just leave it like that. I didn't use my conscious mind to think about the where, because I'd been on Airbnb and I wasn't having much luck. So I left Airbnb and I just asked the universe, and where? Oh, and there was no doubt at all. That's one caveat I put in right now. No doubt. I just knew the universe. I put the order into the kitchen, the universal kitchen, and I knew I would get an answer. So during the 2 weeks, a name popped up into my head. It was like toast popping up from a toaster, and it was one of my past clients. And then I remembered, oh my God, that's right, she has a number of Airbnbs. I'll reach out to her. So I text her and she said, Tanya, you won't believe it, but the date you wanted, oh my God, it's available. I've got a studio for you. You can move in here. Thanks for reaching out. So I went to see it yesterday and it's perfect. And it's even below the price point I was going, expected to pay. And it's in a great location. In fact, I got everything I wanted because I took the time out to be specific with the universe about what I would love. And I have to say, the subconscious mind loves specific. So be really specific with what you want. And of course, within 2 weeks, I have now manifested a new home at a price point that I can easily afford. And so I want to put that out to you, that you too can ask and it's given. And you can ask by writing it from a place of that you are so grateful that you have already achieved it. In the beginning, I didn't believe it, but the more I wrote it, the more I started to believe it, and so can you. So leave your comments below if this is resonating with you, and if any of my content is surprising you and delighting you, then please consider subscribing, because Bob said, Tanya, you can't keep it unless you give it away. Give away his teachings. And so I'm giving away one of his little processes he taught me. I'd love to hear how this works out for you, and I'll be back. I've got so much to share with you, to support you now, to master your mind so you can master your life. Bye.